If you're thinking about doing a HYROX for the first time, in this video, I'm going to share 5 things I wish I knew before my first race. There were things that surprised me, things I underestimated, and things I definitely would have trained differently had I known better. So my hope is that this video helps you feel more prepared and gives you a better idea of what to expect heading into your first race. Number 1. Running is important. A lot of people focus heavily on the workout stations, but the running is really what makes the HYROX so challenging. Even though the stations are what make the race unique, at its core, HYROX is still a running race. And you're not just running 8 kilometers or 5 miles fresh, you're running that distance while constantly fatiguing yourself in between with sled pushes, lunges, rowing, burpees, and more. That accumulated fatigue adds up fast. So if you're preparing for HYROX, running is something you absolutely want to prioritize in your training. And that leads in nicely to the sponsor of today's video, the International Sports Science Association, or ISSA. ISSA is one of the top online platforms for fitness education designed to help people turn their interest in health and training into an actual profession. One thing that stands out to me about ISSA is how much variety they offer beyond just a personal trainer certification. They have specialty courses and advanced certifications covering areas like nutrition, corrective exercise, strength and conditioning, and sports performance. That's something that's become especially important for me while training for HYROX and helping my gym members prepare. The more I've gotten into hybrid racing, the more I've realized running is an important skill. It's not only about mileage, it's about pacing correctly, structuring workouts, and building endurance in a way that's sustainable. That's why I started going through ISSA's Certified Running Coach program. It's helped me better understand how to build running programs, improve pacing strategies, and structure training sessions with more purpose behind them. What's been great is being able to apply that knowledge directly with the people I coach. Whether it's helping beginners feel more confident with conditioning, improving aerobic fitness, or teaching athletes how to manage effort during workouts and races, it's made a huge difference in how I approach training. ISSA's courses are really flexible. Most programs include digital textbooks, guided lessons, quizzes, plus audio and video learning tools, so you can actually learn the concepts instead of just memorizing material. Their certified personal trainer program is fully online and self-paced, which makes it easier if you're balancing work, school, or a busy schedule. The exams are open book, can be completed from home, and they even include a free retake if needed. After certification, ISSA also gives you access to a professional website to help you start building your presence as a coach. They even offer a CPT bootcamp focused on their purpose-driven training system so you can feel more prepared working with real clients. Fitness jobs are in high demand. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree to get started, just the certification. Once you're certified, you can join ISSA's Career Connect community designed to help you find jobs in your area. The best part is they back it up with the #1 job guarantee in the industry with a full money-back guarantee. So whether you're looking to start a new career in fitness, expand your coaching knowledge, or just better understand training like I've been doing through HYROX prep, ISSA has a lot of great resources available. If you want to check it out, head to joinissa.com/ketthetrainer to get $100 off their CPT program, fitness coach bundle, elite trainer bundle, or master trainer bundle. Now back to tip number 1. With the way running is designed for HYROX, your legs never really get a break. 1 minute you're doing heavy sled pushes, then you're expected to go right back into a run, then after that run you're doing sled pulls, then another run, then burpee broad jumps, and then another run, and so on and so forth. That's why pacing matters a lot. I remember taking off a little too fast at the beginning because of the adrenaline, especially when everyone else around you is moving quickly, but HYROX really punishes bad pacing. If you burn yourself out too early, those later stations and runs become brutal. So if I could go back and prepare differently, I would spend a lot more time building my running endurance and practice running under fatigue instead of focusing almost entirely on conditioning and HYROX workouts. HYROX style workouts are important, but I definitely prioritize doing different types of runs. That would include Zone 2 easy runs to build endurance, speed runs to improve pace, threshold runs to help sustain effort at higher intensities, and compromise runs, which are runs that are performed under fatigue, because in HYROX, you're barely running fresh. Number 2, understand how the laps in Roxzone work. Another thing I really wish I understood better before my first HYROX was how the running laps in the Roxzone actually work. The Roxzone is basically the transition area that connects the runs and the workout stations. To enter it, you'll pass through a section marked in, and when you leave the station area to begin your next run, you'll pass through an out section. Almost every HYROX venue is designed differently, so the layouts of the run change from race to race. Sometimes your 1K might be 2 laps around the venue, other times it might be 3 laps. There's a tracking board that shows you what lap you're on and what you're going to do next, whether it's another run or a station, but for me on my first race, it wasn't working right. So I had to stay focused and really keep track of my laps myself, and that was really hard. During the race, there are athletes moving everywhere, music blasting, and your brain is already exhausted from the physical effort. So if you're not paying close attention, you can easily lose count of your laps, and that matters a lot, because if you complete fewer laps than required, you can receive time penalties. Your ankle timer chip tracks checkpoints, so if you cross into the inn too early, it'll register that you didn't complete the required distance. And on the flip side, if you do additional laps, That's extra distance, unnecessary fatigue, and it eats into your overall race time. At the start of the race, they'll usually explain it with instructions like, come in at the third time you see the inn. So throughout the race, you need to stay mentally engaged and count carefully, especially if the tracking board is unreliable. One thing I definitely recommend is checking out the venue information before race day. HYROX will often post walkthroughs, maps, and Instagram videos that explain how many laps make up each run and when you're supposed to enter the Roxzone. And those posts are incredibly helpful. So make sure to follow the HYROX account of the country you're racing in so you can catch that. Number 3, don't bring yourself out at the stations. Another thing I wish I knew better before my first HYROX was just how important it is to pace yourself during the stations. Now this is particularly about my first HYROX solo race. Pacing is a little different when it comes to the relay race, because since you're only doing 2 stations, you can afford to go a little harder. So this tip about not going too hard applies more to HYROX solo and doubles. Every single station takes a lot out of you, and when you're racing, it's really easy to get caught up in the adrenaline and go too hard, especially early on. Examples of this include the ski erg and the rower, where you're performing really high stroke rates, pushing the sled non-stop without rest, or burning through the burpee broad jumps. And while you may know the techniques to go really hard in those stations, you need to consider at what cost. If you completely redline and spike your heart rate up, your breathing becomes much harder to control, and the next run can feel absolutely miserable, and you might end up walking, causing you to gain more time. So in HYROX, you really need to think about what comes next. It's not just how fast can I finish the station, it's how fast can I finish the station while still being able to run afterward. So that's a really important mindset shift. Number 4, spectators can watch you almost anywhere. One really nice surprise during my first HYROX was how spectator friendly the venue is. If you're doing the race with friends, family, and other people supporting you, they can watch you at almost every station throughout the event. HYROX venues are set up with viewing lanes, making it real easy for spectators to move around the venue and see athletes during different parts of the race. So unlike some races where your family might only see you at the start and the finish line, HYROX gives them a ton of opportunities to see you actually compete. They can record videos, take photos, cheer you on, and really document all the hard work you're putting into the race. And hearing your friends and family cheer you on while you're exhausted can really give you a huge mental boost. The most important thing, however, is for them to understand the flow beforehand. It's helpful if they know the order of the stations and what comes after what. That way they can move through the venue pretty strategically and catch you multiple times throughout the race. So if you're bringing friends or family with you to watch you race, I recommend arriving really early so everyone can get a sense of the venue and layout, and you can explain to them where it'll be and the overall flow of the event. And the last thing I wish I knew before my first HYROX race is that your first race is really about learning. Going into my first race, I put a lot of pressure on myself, but really, once you experience HYROX, there's so much you can't fully understand until you're in it. The pacing feels different, the running feels different, and there are so many things you learn just by doing the race. So if you're preparing for your first HYROX, I think one of the best things you can do is shift your mindset to I'm here to learn. Be aware of things like how your body responds, how to pace yourself, and what stations are challenging you the most. Because honestly, your first HYROX teaches you how to train for your next one. And once you remove some of that pressure to be perfect, the whole experience becomes a lot more enjoyable. So those are the 5 things I wish I knew before my first HYROX. Where's your first race going to be? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.